Hi guys, welcome back to the garage. As you can tell from the thumbnail, this is not a happy bunny. Now, I have 3 bikes currently insured, road legal, and the weather's been great. So the first problem is with the BSA. So we will turn our attention to that and I'll explain what's going on. So let's go to the look. Right, so out on the Ibiza, which is lovely to ride, by the way. It's very torquey. I suspect made even more so by the fact this is quite low geared. So it's got some real get up and go. But anyway, that's not the point. I was out on the Ibiza, and the petrol tank, which if you watched any of the previous videos, was leaking back here. After 2 goes of pour 15 appeared to be successfully sealed. Well, on the move it leaked again, and now we're stationary, it stopped leaking again. So something's opening up with the vibrations. Bad news. Anyway, I was riding along and then it quite noticeably lost a cylinder. You can't really not notice it, to be honest. So limped back to the garage, checked all the electrical stuff, no problems, took the carb off, blew through the idle circuit because it was at low speed it was missing. As you revved it harder, it would chime back in. Cleaned it all out again, put it back together, success. Back on 2. Well, within 5 minutes, it's back on 1 again. But this time it wasn't the right-hand cylinder, it was the left-hand cylinder. So by partially covering the air intake, you could get it to rev up quicker, which says to me that it's not drawing the fuel properly through the idle circuit, the pilot circuit. Now, the obvious answer would be to fit a pair of brand new carbs. AMAL haven't got them at the minute. They don't know when they're going to get them according to the website. So I have an ultrasonic cleaner on the way and we're going to have to try and clean them out and get that going. So until that arrives, I'm square wheels, as they say. The other thing is, this bike has not leaked any oil since it was done, which was, I can't remember when it's finished, pre-Christmas last year, and it hasn't marked its territory in any way, shape or form, unlike the Harley, which is what we're going to come to in a minute. I went away for a week, 10 days, I came back, and if we have a look down here, I don't know how well that will show up, but we have a small puddle of oil, which is a huge disappointment. So a quick check showed a couple of small drips around the oil filter plate at the bottom of the frame, around the studs, centre of the studs. So I may have to extract the studs and lock them in place with something and then put it all back together. And then the other thing, unbelievably, is all the screws on the outer cover were loose. And there was oil seeping out through the screw holes. Now, they were definitely tight. I'm absolutely 100% certain of that. So it can only be vibration that's loosened them off. And it doesn't feel that vibratory, at least not the speeds I've managed so far. But there you go, it must have loosened it off. That's what we're going to have to deal with on the BSA. Now, tank-wise, I'm in 2 minds. One, I completely strip the pour 15 out. Paint stripper will do that. Clean it all and then go with a resin sealer, which may or may not be successful. Or there are Indian-made tanks, which I think I'll get back here for about £230 in bare steel. Now, if you have had any experience of using these Indian tanks, please let me know, leave a comment. First-hand experience, please, because there's loads of stuff on the internet about I heard about a bloke who did this and I heard about a bloke who did that. If anyone's got first-hand experience of using these tanks, let me know, please, before I go and order one. So there we are at the BSA. So that's that off the road. We send leaders to the shovel. Right, the shovel. I was out on it and it didn't feel completely right. I can't put my finger on it, but it didn't feel completely right. Anyway, I came home, parked it up, thought I'll check things out. Went to it the next day or the day after, went to start it. Battery was low enough that it wouldn't turn the engine over properly, which was strange because up till that point it had been fine. Put the multimeter across the battery, no charge. So I got out Donnie Peterson's book on the Shovelhead, volume 2 I think it is, which shows a quick check for the voltage regulator and the stator. Checked the voltage regulator, dead's a door now. Thought fine, no problem, I'll just have to buy another one. Checked the plug, and it's a 4-pin version that's on these, all of equal size holes. 3 of the pin holes were the same size, the 4th one was 2 to 3 times the size it should be. Obviously heat. Checked the pin, the male pin, where the stator comes through the case, the wiring, and half the pin is missing. Presumably burnt away. High resistance between the two, I assume. I don't know, but I assume that's the case. So, that means the stator's got to be changed as well. Now, let me bring you in a bit closer. Now, the Harley has been dropping oil since I've owned it. And it's mainly gearbox oil. There's a little bit of engine oil sometimes, but mainly gearbox oil, which I was going to leave until the riding season was over, because it gets quite chilly here. So come the end of October time, probably something like that, I'd pull it off the road and I would do the gearbox. Now, the layout is pretty similar to British bikes, if you know them. So basically you've got a front sprocket, a clutch assembly, chain, gearbox is here, and it leaks out through a shaft which goes through the centre of the clutch. So the whole primary's got to come apart to do that. Now the stator lives here, on the end of the crank in that casing there. So given that I can't ride it because I've got no charge, I'm going to have to do it now. I'm going to have to pull the whole primary off, inner primary off, clutch, chain, stator, fix the gearbox leak, major work. So expect a series of videos soon on pulling apart a Shovelhead, which will be interesting, but not really what I wanted just at the minute. So whilst we're on the Shovelhead, the other thing that's happened is that when you leave it, it wet sumps. Not all the time, and certainly not consistently, which is doubly irritating. If you just do it all the time at a regular amount, you at least have something to go at. But anyway, it decides to do it sometimes and not others, which suggests to me the ball or the spring isn't seating consistently, which means the seat where the ball sits in the pump probably needs cleaning. So there's only one way to deal with that, and that's take the pump off. Now, in addition, once, and only once, when I was out, the oil light came on. When I got home, I cleaned out the pressure switch, which had some debris in the back where the oil pushes onto it, and it hasn't come on again since. But given we've got the wet sumping problem, it probably makes sense to take the pump off and double check there's no wear in the gears, etc, 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 and then rectify if need be, and probably fit in the oil pressure switch while we're at it. So there you go. I now have 2 dead bikes out of 3 that are road legal. The third one, which you haven't seen, but you might do soon, is currently stuck at the back of a unit, blocked in by a friend's Honda CRX, which has got the petrol tank off, requiring some major work to get it back on again, working again. So I can't even get the Bonneville out to use that. So, as the thumbnail said, bloody motorcycle.